Hi viewers, welcome to Sports Diary. I am very happy to meet you again in another episode of Sports Diary. In Sports Diary program, we are interviewing various international sports players who is achieving at the international level. And this week we are going to meet a sailing duo. They have participated in various international events and represented India. And recently in Asian Games 2018 held in Indonesia, they won the bronze event in 49er event. They are none other than KC Ganapathy and Varun Thakur. Let's meet him. Hi Ganapathy.
Hi.
Hi Varun.
Hi.
Yeah, it's been very pleasure meeting you Ganapathy, and just wanted to ask you about the journey in Asian Games 2018. So how was that journey?
The journey was incredible. We came in as favorites, one of the favorites to win the event, and the week was really tough for us, but we managed to put in a really good second half of the event where we managed to finish with a bronze, even though we got disqualified in race number 14.
Okay. And Varun, about your experiences in this Asian Games 2018?
It was incredible. Like, we kept it together under so much of pressure going in as well. And to come out with a medal, of course, it's brilliant. So there's not much to say, but the journey, the whole event, the pre-event towards it, everything is just amazing. And, we've been performing really well. We can see improvement and looking forward for the future.
And you would have played some key matches in this tournament, Asian Games 2018, say example with Oman or Korea. What are the matches that you feel was very touching for you?
I think the last race for us, race number 15, where we had to have two boats between us and Korea, or us and Oman to finish with the bronze medal was phenomenally tense, and it was really exciting, and it was amazing that we could, under pressure, keep everything together, keep Oman behind us, and the boat was flying, so it was phenomenal. I would say the 15th race was the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Varun, talking about this event, how this combination, equation with you and Ganapathy, when did it started?
So we started training together in the youth classes, I think in 2011. And ever since then, we've just been, together, we've been moving forward with boats. I think we sailed 3 different boats from 2011 till now. And, we've raced against each other when we were kids.
Okay.
And to grow up racing against each other to now sailing together is just, you can't say anything else to that, can you?
And your equation with Varun right from 2011?
So Varun for me is like more than just teammates. We are like family, and our families are really close. And even when my dad passed away, he was there for me. And like for me, he's a brother brother from another mother. So we're more than just teammates, and it's phenomenal. I couldn't have done it with a better person.
Yes, Ganapathy, where you born and brought up, it is basically from Chennai or any other location?
No. Born in Besanagar, brought up in Chennai, and I absolutely love Chennai because it has the sea, amazing coastline, and amazing sailing conditions. So very much my whole life in Chennai, and I am a Chennai boy.
And yourself?
Born in Chennai, brought up in Chennai. So it's good, we have the best, I think we have the second longest coastline or beach, and it's like you can't get better than that. You have a big beach, you have amazing sailing conditions, super big waves.
How did you manage your game as well as the academics?
Say 9th standard, I did normal school, and then we moved into something called open schooling. So ever since then, we got more time towards sailing, towards education, or you could literally balance it out because school was getting strict with your education, saying that, you have to be in school all the time and things like that. So for us, open schooling really helped, and so So I could balance it out, and then eventually it just became full-time sailing, very little education, because we wanted to go and achieve a lot more than just nationals or just this, because we want to go international and, train harder, because standard of sailing over there is way higher than what it is in India.
Okay.
So to compete against those guys, it's a full-time dedication, and it literally you need to be there all the time.
Yes, Ganapati, did you ever felt a regret not going to school and continuing your academics regularly?
For sure, the only thing I really missed about going to school was my friends, and that's one part I missed. But for us, many people they go to school and then they play sports on the side. But for us, we played sport main and then we took education to the side. Unfortunately, in a way, I wish I could have done both parallel, but it wasn't to be, and I'm going to complete. So I started sailing around 6 years old.
Okay.
And then competitive sailing by around 10, 11.
Okay.
So the first dabble into competitive sailing was 2005.
Okay.
By 7, 8, I was sailing almost all the days possible.
Okay.
2009, I left school.
Okay.
And then it was just full time, 6 days a week and
Okay.
1 day off. Yeah.
Usually, where do you practice and sail before getting into any tournaments or matches?
So we, when we are at home, it's in Tamil Nadu Sailing Association, which is in Chennai Port Trust. That's our home club, and we thank them a lot for their support as well for that. And internationally, just before any event, we go to the venue and train over there.
And Ganapati, what are the national and international tournaments you have participated so far?
Asian Games, then World Championships, Europeans, Euro Cup, World Cup events, nationals, then so we've done the full circuit. So, but it's really good to be able to get a medal at the Asian Games because it's recognized. In fact, for us, in European events, in fact, this year our top 25 in the Europeans on a 49 has never been done, and it's a really big achievement sailing-wise, but it doesn't get the same recognition as the Asian Games bronze would. So that way, in fact, 2018 has been good. In Netherlands, we finished 12th in 45 boats in Europe. Europeans, 25th in 93 boats. So for us, we are doing well in all the events. In fact, you can see that progression over the years. And
Okay.
even on the youth boat, we were really good. The feeder boat for the 29er, and we won the Euro Cup there. So it's nice that the Asian Games, that sailing's getting recognition.
What are the fouls and penalties usually will be there for the violations?
Basically, there's a racing rules of sailing, a book that it's very elaborate. Like it tells you exactly what can be done, what cannot be done, who's right, who's wrong. On the water, if two boats collide, then and you're blatantly wrong, you can do the penalty, which is a 360, or you can continue sailing, and then one boat will go to you have a jury where both the boats go there, and it's like a race steward in racing. After the race, you go there, and then you put your case forward, and they will decide who was right and wrong, and they'll disqualify somebody and exonerate somebody.
Yes, Varun, what are the different type of race formats and the technical aspects involved in this sailing?
So sailing as a sport, we have races. So if you have 20 boats in an event, all 20 boats start at the same time, and you have a series of say 12 to maybe 18 or 15 races, and that happens over a period of 5 days or sometimes 4 days, depending on the number of races which is given to you in advance notice and if weather permits. So that's how it is, and it's basically if you finish first in a race, you get 1 point. If you finish second, you get 2 points, and then eventually after 15 races, all of it gets added up. So in 15 races, the lowest total wins, and that's how one event is done. Before the event, they have an inspection, which you get a measurer, an official measurer basically from the class of boats that we sail, who comes and measures all your equipment, and you basically go for a scrutiny kind of thing, and once you're cleared, you can participate. If you don't clear, you have to change whatever has not been cleared and participate.
And Ganapati, what are the safety measures you do when you're going for a match?
Basically, the biggest safety measure is a buoyancy aid. We always wear a life jacket, so if you fall in the water and you're unconscious, you'll float. In sailboat racing, above 30 knots or 35 knots of wind, they abandon racing and they send you in. So above 35 knots, it gets too uncontrollable, too dangerous. Sea state gets too rough. So that's a safety measure. And then we, on a day-to-day basis, we look at the forecast and we basically know roughly what's going to hit us. So it's not like we're going to get surprised by anything. But even if we do, say our racing is very close to the shore, so they send you in if it's too dangerous.
Okay. Varun, in sailing, what are the norms and criteria are there?
There's any restriction on weight or height or age in that way, because for us it's, if you're in an Olympic class, you have the best performance in the sense of weight, or weight ratio or height or something like that, which you will be able to figure it out once you're in the boat and all of that. So in that way, sailing is a very open sport. Like, you can do it at any age. I think the last 2016 Olympics, the oldest gold medal winner was from sailing. He was 54. So there is a wide range of age group, and you're racing against people who are 40, 25, younger than you as well. So it's good.
Okay. Any criteria for gender criteria?
Oh yeah, so there's a male boat, which is the 49er, which we sail. The female is the 49er FX. And there's a mixed as well, which is the Nakra. So like that, there are different classes of boats which you sail, and each of them have different sail sizes. The boats are different and everything varies.
Yes, Ganapati, in India, when you're practicing and going for the matches, from who's coaching that you practice and train?
So let me start off by saying at the Asian Games we had Jonas Water from Denmark, and he's a legend in sailing. Won the 2008 Olympic gold in the 49er, but he was with us only for the Asian Games. Prior to that, in this last 6 months, we've had Bunny Warren, Yorkie. Bunny was from Australia, Yorkie, Finland. He came and helped us technically a little bit. Then a French coach called Alain Champy. So all of these guys were really instrumental in making us good enough to fight at the top of an Asian fleet. Without them, there's no chance we could have achieved that. If you go back 10, 15 years, Mr. Munna Jamal from the Sailing Club, Tamil Nadu Association, he volunteered and trained us, and Doc Mustaq, and both of them, especially Munna Jamal, Mr. Munna Jamal, we call him Munna Uncle fondly. Without him, we won't be where we are now.
All other international events may have the qualification criteria to go into that.
Most of the events are open to all. And in the Asian Games, for the Asian Games, we had to win the Indian selection, and then Indian selections were split up into two. So top two boats go for the Asian sailing. And if you are number one Indian over there, you make the Asian Games. That was an Indian selection. For the Olympics, it's only top 18 countries that make it. So 12 is an open qualifier. One spot goes to host nation, which is Japan, and the rest is in continental qualifiers. So each continent gets a spot, and according to that, they finish up.
Yes, Ganapati, when you're going for tournaments and matches, how do you assess your performance after you coming back? How do you improve your skill accordingly?
Looking at that, if we perform better, post-event we'll do an analysis why we performed better technically, tactically, and other aspects, fitness and everything. And if we performed really badly, then we likewise take an analysis, and then you look at it and compare it with your previous events. And if there's something that's popping up in a pattern, then we work on that specifically, and we just work on our weaknesses and try and make our strengths better. So that's how we go about looking at it.
What are the differences in short course racing as well as the onshore and offshore?
So basically, offshore racing involves big yachts that are balanced with a heavy centerboard or heavy. The balance is called a keel. We just have a centerboard in what we are doing. We are dinghy racing, and offshore racing is big boats basically. So the difference is that offshore they sail from say Chennai to Pondicherry. We just our racing is we go into the sea at Chennai. They set a course and we race around that course.
What are the differences in team racing and match racing? How do you make the plans according?
So team racing is basically you have four boats against four boats.
Okay.
It's a team. Yes, so you have different strategies we used to sail team racing as kids, and they have things like someone used to be a rabbit who just used to go out there to win races. There used to be people who used to be like who have different traits. Like sometimes people used to be called just stacking on others, like trying to make your team go ahead. So team racing is in that way just 4 against 4. Match racing is more one-on-one sailing. So one boat versus another boat, which is way harder because it's just one versus one, and once the front guy gets ahead, it's a little hard to come back towards him. But if you're good enough, anything can happen. So.
And Varun, from your playing days from the childhood, who is your most influencing person in your career?
There have been a lot of people my parents, all the coaches that have worked with me. There's nobody in particular, but it's the whole team, especially because my parents and the coaches and everybody who helped me get to where I am. So I'm really grateful and thankful for that.
I really look up to my parents because they've been so selfless in a way, supporting me. So I don't have anyone in particular, but I would like to thank all the coaches and my parents, and that's about it. Yeah.
And when representing for the country, obviously a great feeling. And also after winning the medals and standing in the podium, tell us about that moment.
That was special because coming back from, like we said earlier, from fourth to winning a medal in those circumstances, yeah, we fought really hard and it felt good to bring back a medal to the country, and it really feels good to do the nation proud, and especially everybody else who supported us, and to at least for them and for us, it's a great moment. So.
Yes, Varun, what are your hobbies and how do you spend your time when you're free in Chennai?
So when I come back home, it's just spending time with my dog, my parents, and catching up with a couple of friends. But hobbies, nothing in particular. I just enjoy listening to a lot of music, and I think when we come back home, it's just going to the gym and staying fit for the next event, and keeps you calm and gets your mind off sailing for a while. So that's good for us. And
At the moment, we are spending a lot of time away from home, so come back, spend time with my dogs, family. I meet up with a few friends, and I love going back to my hometown, Coog. So it's good fun. Go do some trekking, swimming in the river, stuff like that.
And Varun, can you share some of any unforgettable achievements in your career?
I think if we go back, winning our first race in the 29er at a World Championship was, I think, pretty unforgettable for us. And I think that boosted our confidence. And of course, the Asian Games winning right now. But apart from these two, I don't really have much.
Even the Euro Cup, I think where we finished third in Garda, that last race was it was another crunch race where we had to come in the top 3 to be on the podium. And that's the race I can't forget because Italy, Garda is one of the best places to sail in the world. Like solid, like strong wind and beautiful location. And that race is like embedded in my head because it was a crazy race.
Varun, how about the recognition you get every time when you come back after achieving in the tournament?
I think coming back home from the Asian Games especially was incredible. Like as soon as we landed in the airport, the welcoming that we got was out of the world, and we got felicitated by our Prime Minister and our Chief of Navy, which is our Federation President. So with those two itself, like, is really, really good for us because we're getting recognition from these guys, and they're really happy that they're people in the country, and our president is really happy with our performance. So that's a good kickstart to our next campaign, which is going to be Tokyo 2020.
So, firstly, we have to thank our federation, YAI, and SAI, that gives our federation money, and SDAT, our state federation. And then a crucial part for all our equipment and buying things over the last 6 months are private sponsors who sponsored us without us having, they believed in us without us having this bronze medal at the Asian Games where everyone recognizes us now. Our parents, I can't forget that they were like instrumental in kicking us up and doing and helping us get where we are.
In sailing, are there any specific factor for body weight to increase the result and also to get more winning performances?
Yes, so basically on the 49er, there's an optimum sail shape that you can use, and our bodies are the leverage that keep the sail upright. So 155, 160 kgs together is the optimum weight, and we started our 49er at 135, and now we put on around 15-20 kgs, so we are slowly getting there. It's been really hard because both of us are not very tall, so becoming 80 kgs for our frame is has been quite the challenge. And our performance also has slowly gone up over the last 3 years. We put on weight, and as that 5 kgs has come, the boat's going faster, and we're able to show everyone how good we really are.
And not only in men's event, women's event also we are achieving medals recently in Asian Games also. How do you see this as a healthy sign?
I mean, it's good for the country, especially because not all parents want to support their children to get into sports because they'll be like, oh, there's no future, but this and that. But so parents doing it, I think it's amazing, and I think more people should get into playing sports.
Yes, Ganapati, after winning the medals, there is an announcement from Tamil Nadu government, from CM, announced the prize money for the medalists.
Yes.
So please tell us how this is very supportive for the sports players.
So it's extremely supportive because most sports, unlike cricket, we don't earn money. Like we're putting in money most of the time. So it's really important that schemes like this are there so that we can continue. And for me personally, like now I can help my mother take care of the house and stuff like that. So without this kind of schemes, it would be very doubtful whether I would be able to sail.
Our state supported us throughout, and they've, with the cash incentive right now, it gives us a little bit of financial backing for the next season as well. So we're really grateful and thankful to them for what they've done, and we look forward to winning more medals for them. And
Post this Asian Games 2018, what are your future plans and preparation for the future tournaments?
So our main ultimate goal is to qualify for 2020, the Olympics, and we still haven't sat down with our coach, and we need to make a proper program for the next year, which events we're going to hit, and the main ones will be the qualifying event in 2019, Open World Championship in New Zealand, and then the Asian Sailing 2020. So those are our target events, and the rest is where we improve and where we work on our skills and keep this momentum going. Like we've got a good momentum, so we just have to keep working really hard, train smart, don't get injuries, and I think we have a good chance of qualifying for 2020.
it's too far ahead of us for us to really say where we'd finish and things like that. So we just keep it realistic now. Let's qualify the country and take it from there, the next step. So
basically our day-to-day goals: train hard, improve on a daily basis, and 2020 is our main goal that way. But like I said, ultimate goal is an Olympic gold.
And Ganapati, thank you for sharing your time and sharing your insights. We wish you all the best in your future tournaments.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been a real pleasure to be here and answer all your questions. And it was a really amazing interview from your part also.
Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure for having us, and hope to see you soon.
And here you have seen the young sailing duo, KC Ganapati and Varun Thakur. Yeah, they have won the Asian Games bronze medals in 49-year tournament in Asian Games 2018. So hope you enjoyed this episode of Sports Diary program. We'll see you in another Sports Diary program. This is Dinesh signing off. Thank you.